Hello everyone, my name is Daria, and today in this video I'm going to talk about how I learn English with a full-time job. Let's go. A little background: I work as a digital manager in the agency and I have a pretty intense job. I have meetings with the clients, I have meetings with my team, I prepare reports, I control the, not data, but I control the advertisement campaigns and analyze figures and do other operational tasks. My working hours are from 10 a.m. until 7 p.m. and I have 1 hour of lunch. So I have time in the mornings, but in the mornings I usually go to the gym or I just sleep because I'm tired. So mostly I learn English in the evenings. I don't have so much time, I believe, as you, and I want to spend my free hours efficiently. And also I would like to show you how I learn English in summer and how I learn English now, why I didn't see any result in summer and why I see the great result now. Let's start with summer. In summer, I watched movies, I watched TV series, I downloaded 10 study books, 10 apps and 5 books for reading, and obviously I was loaded with resources. And I think I spent maybe 1 hour per week for speaking or writing or doing something like that. When I watched movie in English, it's not my native language, I put an effort to understand what's happening in this TV series. So it wasn't just relaxing time, but it was the time when I spent my energy to understand what's going on. But still, it was passive learning of English. And my brain and we considered this process of learning English as actually learning English. So I learned English in summer, I would say to you that, I learned English in summer. I didn't spend a lot of time on English, but I practiced English. And guess what? By the end of the summer, I didn't see any result in my improving English. I haven't improved at all. I wanted to improve my speaking skills and I just had the same level of speaking. And I thought that only geniuses could speak English and they have an aptitude to languages. The most important thing what happened in this summer, I just didn't practice speaking. I just didn't do it because practicing speaking, it's too difficult. You put great effort to combine words into sentences and just say it out loud. It's a huge effort. It's easier to read something, it's easier to watch something and just learn English this way. Of course, this way of learning English is good, but if we talk about speaking, you have to speak. You have to make an effort to speak. I didn't make that effort. That summer, I watched a lot TV series in English. Let's see how I changed my way of learning English in autumn. I decided to change my study plan in autumn. I prepared my own structure to practice English. And I thought if I want to speak, I should practice speaking as much as possible, even if it was really hard for me. I didn't want to practice speaking because it's hard. My brain just resisted to this process. My brain didn't want to do it because it's difficult. It's difficult for everyone to start speaking in other language. I know me, I know what can work for me, and that's why I started creating my plan. And step number 1, I started searching for a teacher and I heard about Italki, and that's why I chose this platform and started searching for a teacher. And I booked lessons in advance. I started with 2 lessons per week. Step number 2, to choose the only one study book. The only one, not 2, not 3, not 1 study book, 1 app, one reading book. No, I started with only 1 study book, no matter what. Just I had to stick to only one study book. In my case, it was the Cutting Edge for upper intermediate. I wanted to improve my general vocabulary, and that book gave me that knowledge. Step number 3. I prepared a notebook for writing down the new words. That's it. First one, a native speaker. Second one, a study book. And the third, a notebook for the new words. And that time in autumn, I decided to practice English for 90 days. I created a challenge for myself. Just do it every day. I created the plan. I know how many days I need to practice it. I just said to myself that I will practice English for 90 days, no matter what. If I don't want, I just open this study book and start to practice English. If I was lazy, I opened this study book and start to practice English. That's the main point. And by the way, I think it helped me to stick to my routine. I didn't skip a day. I put an effort to practice English. Can you imagine it? Some people can say, maybe you don't need to speak English. No, I want to speak English. I like how I speak English right now, and I wanted to see that result in the summer. But I got here only after like 70 days of everyday practicing. And by the way, I didn't spend a lot time. For example, one day I can spend only 30 minutes and the other day I can spend 1 hour because I just wanted to do it. But in the beginning and in the middle and now sometimes I don't have right mood for learning English. You know that condition when you are searching for inspiration or for something extra to start doing things. I know how it's too difficult to start, and the second, how to be consistent in what you started. But in autumn I decided to go further because the temptation to skip the only one day, because you just don't want today learn English. It's just so easy, and you're a human. You can skip a day and nothing happened. The world will not be destroyed after your decision. You just skip the only one day, and the temptation for me was too sweet, and I decided created a YouTube channel, and I decided started my Instagram and post stories every day of my process of learning English. It helped me to be consistent because I know that you are my people who know that I learn English every day, and that I feel like a responsibility because I told you that I will learn English every day, and if I will not learn English for one day, it's just why did I do the whole thing about this challenge? So I decided to stick to my challenge, and I decided to tell you about my challenge, and it helped me with my consistency. And maybe after 30 days I got a habit for practicing speaking English, not watching, not listening, not reading. I started practicing speaking every day. I speak every day in English. Can you imagine it? After maybe 2 or 3 weeks, I started adding new techniques, new apps to try to learn English in the various of ways. And when I went through this process, when I just know that I do exercises in the study book, I write down the new words, and I work with a teacher, I can search for something new to make my learning routine more fun for me, because you can get bored to learn English with only one study book. And that's why when you feel that you're ready, you can add new resources. And now I have a plan for you. If you are like me, you can put off your goal in learning a new language for a long time. You just think that you will start next Monday, next Friday, or next season. It doesn't matter. You just put off this goal, and you want to speak, but you just can't speak, and it's not easy for you. You struggle when you want to say full sentences when you talk with someone. So if you're lazy, if you watch and read and listen to a lot, but you want to speak, I suggest you to try the easiest step ever and stick to it for maybe 3 or 4 weeks. The first step, you choose a study book. If you don't want to choose, if you don't want to do research, if you feel that you have an upper intermediate or something like that because you watch TV shows, you watched videos and you understand what's going on there, maybe your English level is B2 and you just need to practice your speaking. So if you feel that you are B2, I suggest you to start with cutting edge for upper intermediate, or make your own research and choose the only one study book. You don't need to have 2, 3 and more. You just need the only one study book. Find your book. And the second, you just need a pen and a notebook to write down the new words. You don't need to install new apps, just start with a notebook. 2 easy steps. I believe that you have a pen and notebook, so you just need do the only one step to find your study book. This is the easiest plan for you. Every day you open your study book and try to do exercises one by one. If one exercise is boring for you, you just skip this exercise and you focus on speaking. You read your exercises out loud and you answer the questions out loud. You read the small texts out loud. You do everything out loud because you want to improve your speaking. I know it will be hard in the beginning, but you will say thank you in the middle of your journey and in the end. You will see the result. You will see the result if you open your study book every day and you will not skip a day and you will do the exercises from the study book. Do it for 3 or 4 weeks and then add something extra, add some new resources, watch my other videos and you will, for example, want to retell your day in front of the camera. It's another helpful technique, but you will find this information in other videos and I believe that you can do it. Just remember, when I feel that I don't want to learn English, I make an effort and I open my study book and I start practicing speaking. And I think that for majority of people this process is the same. I can be wrong, but I tell you my story. It was hard for me. And I don't think that I'm that lazy. Yeah, and sometimes you have to put an effort to do what you want to reach. And of course, in the beginning, you will be slow, but just stay consistent and do what you have to do, and everything will be all right. I think that's all for today. I hope you are motivated to start and don't wait one day, just start to do your research today and just do it. You can follow me on the Instagram because I do the same thing. It's easier to learn in a group of people with the same goal, because I believe that people who are watching me, we have the same goal to speak English fluently. And when you know that other people have the same goal, you just have this inner motivation to just continue and not give up. Now that's all for today. Thank you for watching and write your thoughts. Give me your likes. I understand that you like the video, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Bye.